Hey, what's up? This is Olin. The sun has just been heavy on my heart, and I just need to share. And I know I got videos talking about this, but I just really felt led that I have to share. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share. Brothers, please be careful who you give your seed to. Fathers who are going through or went through hell with the mothers of their children, you have to teach your kids, you have to teach your sons, you really have to teach your sons that their seed is precious and they have to be careful who they have children with. For real, you need to teach them to really, you know, use their late teens and their 20s to get themselves together. You know what I mean? Stack money, discover who they are, live life. They go on date. Don't get into nothing real serious. You know what I mean? If you want to have sex, they're gonna have sex. Tell them, man, to not only wear condoms but use spermicide, man. You know what I mean? Like you really have to be careful. Women are programmed to make a man seed and just discard him like he ain't nothing. And I know I teach my sons, and I'm gonna keep on teaching them that as a man they need to keep their power, and how they keep their power is, by not getting a woman pregnant and not living with her. You know what I mean? It don't matter what a woman says. A woman can say you a bum, you living with your mom, or you got a crappy apartment. You know what I mean? It don't even matter. Let them think what they want to think. Let them diss them how they want to diss them. But long as they ain't got their claws or their things in them, they good. And that's real. A man keeps his power if he doesn't get a woman pregnant and he doesn't live with her. And we have to teach our sons that they really have to be careful who they get pregnant. Because, like I said, these women nowadays, they're programmed to take your seed and kick a man to a curb. That's how it is. And the system caters to the BS of women thinking, you know? And and this how bad it is. When it comes to domestic relations, family court, a white man really can't get justice like that. A white man really have to fight hard to get justice, let alone a black man with these racist judges and it could be bitter black women mediators. You know what I mean? As I experienced a bitter black woman mediator, it was real crazy. I've been separated for about a good 3 years. And in the 3 years that we were separated, had the kids every other week, half the week, weekends, and we've been going half on child's expenses. Got to child support. It was bull crap being taken to child support when I take care of my kids on my own. But anyway, I took into child support. She tried to sing a brand new tune. Like I ain't been doing nothing for my kids. Luckily, you know, a good brother in my life told me to keep all my receipts. And man, I put the receipts I had for 3 years on that table and it shut her up. But still, the mediator, she done lied on my net pay And for like over a year, I was paying too much money in child support until I looked back at the paperwork probably like 4 months later and was like, yo, I mean, like after a year or so of paying all that, I looked at my paperwork and be like, wait a minute, because I knew something was wrong. So I was getting my kids every weekend and paying child support, and even as I was paying it, my ex telling me that I ain't it, my child support money ain't it. But after paying over for about a year, I took my paperwork. I had to get a reduction, man, and told them that the mediator lied on my net pay. She lied on my net pay and my gross pay. And I got a reduction, you know. But anyway, the system really caters to the BS, that be going through women's heads. Because when things don't work out, I don't know, women just want to destroy you. And this is the thing. It's one thing if a man did a woman dirty, you know what I mean? Did her wrong, and she's angry and she do some stuff to get back. But there's another thing when things just don't work out and it's the woman's fault. And she still want to do little petty things to get at you when really you really didn't do nothing to her for her to act like that. Women, they want to use, when a father really loves his kids, they want to keep the kids away from him. You know what I mean? They want to keep the kids away from you. It's like they don't want to see you happy. They can be moving on real quick, and the new dude around the kids, that's okay. As soon as a man gets in a relationship, well, who's this around my kid? I went through that. I was dating somebody at a time, probably like 2 years after my separation. And I was in a tight jam one morning and asked, my girlfriend at the time to take my daughter to daycare. Oh boy, did I get a backlash at work because my ex's sister worked there and told her right away. I'm like, damn, she just dropped her off. And she tried to come at my throat, talking about who this girl you got around my kids. I'm like, yo, first of all, we're not going to do that. Like, just like I trust you that you're not going to have nobody crazy around my kids, you're going to give me the same trust. Because I heard about you getting rides home from different dudes picking my kids up from childcare and all that. And I trust you that you're not going to have nobody hurt our kids. And you're going to give me the same trust. But anyway, back to the system catering to the BS of women. And I'm not bashing, believe me, I'm not bashing. I'm just venting out how unfair the system is. Me personally, man, I wanted to be a family man since I was a teenager. My biological father wasn't a good father. He cheated on my mother. He didn't really work. He was an alcoholic. He picked on me. He wasn't the best father to me or my sisters, And I always told myself, when I get older, I'm gonna be a better father and a better husband than my dad was. And I did that. When I got married, I was a better father than he was, and I was a better husband than he was. I was faithful to my wife. I loved my wife. I loved my kids. I did for them. Wasn't the richest man in the world, but whatever I had to do to make ends meet, I did that. Some things may have been sloppy, you know what I mean? I had some rough things, you know what I mean? I got a car that we really couldn't afford, but the missus wanted it. and kind of got backed up on electric bill. And electric got cut off a couple of times, but I handled it. You know what I mean? I turned the electric back on myself. You know what I mean? Or do whatever I had to do to get that money to pay the bill. You know what I mean? I love my family. So anyway, I just went there because I don't want this video to seem like I'm bashing women, because I'm not. I'm not. In my heart of hearts, I'm a family man. There's nothing better than a man and woman coming together in holy matrimony and bringing their family up together, man. It's just that this world is just tailored. It's not tailored for marriage. The system here in America is not tailored for marriage, man. And I just see what the Bible means, that the devil is the god of this world, man. You can just see the evil in the government and just everything that is wrong. They're saying that it's right and everything is right. They're saying that it's wrong, man. We really living in the end days, yo. But anyway, back to the system entertaining the BS of women. The system isn't really concerned about the child. Let's get that straight. They just want the money, all in which they get a cut of. Talking to my ex, she doesn't get all the money that I send. You know, they take some out. And not just that, when they come out of payroll, they take more money out my check to pay them. Or if I have to make a payment over the phone, I have to pay money to make that payment to get to her. You know what I mean? But the system does not care about your child. They don't care about the child being whole by having a father in their life. They don't care about none of that. All they want is to just get that support order started and start draining you. They want to also just, and I see this with celebrities. Celebrities just pay outrageous child support, and for what? For what? I heard a few celebrities like Ari Spears, and I heard what Nas was going through, like paying support that is way more than enough to take care of their child. So it's like, and then nowadays there's a lot of women that initiate divorces and all this other stuff, because women get bored with you and just want to move on to something else. You know, a man really marries somebody, he really want to make that thing work. But anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to jab, but I'm just stating some facts. But, you know, a man, if a relationship doesn't work, a man's only sole obligation should be his children. You know, not the mother of the child, but his child. You know, most of the time the women go on, they move, or the guy got to leave, you know what I mean? There's separate lives going on. She got her life, and most of the time they give them the kids. You know what I mean? And this is the crazy part about what I went through in Pennsylvania, because I got hit up for child support when I was still technically married. And without a court case or nothing, she just submit the papers, and all of a sudden they list her as the custodial parent. When truth was, I had the kids half the month and she had the kids half the month. But just her signing paper, they just automatically give her, oh, she's a custodial parent. Like I ain't been in the picture. But anyway. Support just be outrageous. If a relationship is over, marriage or whatever is over, that's it. The only responsibility there should be is to the child or children of the union that failed. paying too much in child support, man. These women be living fat, doing stuff with that money, and it ain't right. And it's not right. And when a man pays child support, he should have access to see his child. He shouldn't have to go to another court or another entity of the same court to see his child or children when he's paying child support. But this is the BS that the system, this is the BS that the child support system do. Like I said, their real interest ain't about the kid. It's about getting that money, siphoning that money from both of you. But it's crazy. If you have a child, that child is your responsibility. By nature, you should have a right to your child. It's crazy how you can pay child support and they be quick to take that child support from you. Quick. But yet you gotta go to another entity of the same court to get rights to a child that's yours, and that's some BS. If a man pays child support, with the child support should come custody. Whether you're gonna do weekends, every other weekends, or you want to split things down the middle, that stuff should come along with the support. So the government really just wants to take the money and can care less about the family situation. The kids are just in between the mess. And I had a video about the economics, but let's just say, when you're a family, you're one unit. You're one unit. All the man and woman, their bills are joint, food, utilities, all that stuff is joint. And the kids are with y'all. Now, you get divorced, you're separated. You're two separate entities. You know what I mean? But most likely, mother gets a child. So now there's two different households. Right? Right. So the man, he's got his own household, doing his own thing now. And his money's coming out from his checks going to his children, as it should. Okay. So the mother's doing her thing, and she gets money from you. You know what I mean? It's all good, right? It's all good. She gets money from you. It's all good. But if you're an active father, you know what I mean? You still get your kids, So you'll get your kids the weekend or for the summer or whatever, right? And the woman doesn't have to pay or chip in with the kids when the man has them, but the man has to chip into the woman when the woman has the kids, and that's some BS right there. I say the whole economics of divorce or just paying child support is just crazy. Because in most cases, the father, he's maintaining the home that he's at, and he's putting in the home with the kids, which is okay. But there should be a reduction if the man is active in his child's life. It's like, okay, I got paid, right? I got paid. And in my deductions, money is out. I got paid Friday, I get my check, money's gone to my kids, which is good. But I'm getting my kids the weekend or having them for, a little extended stay in the summer. You know what I mean? The woman is not required to chip in with our children. You know what I mean? The man just gotta take that hit, and it's some bull. And it's some bull. So anyway, like I was saying, brothers, we gotta teach our sons, and young men, you gotta take heed. You really have to take heed. You gotta be careful who you give your seed to. Your seed is precious. Most of these women, well, it's mostly women who are getting these divorces. And a lot of them are getting divorces for BS. Like they just get bored. How feminism and how the world is set up today, it just tells women, you deserve this, you deserve that, you deserve that. And a lot of these women don't got a humble bone in their body. Don't get me wrong, women work hard, man. Women, they do their thing with their kids, man. But how this world is set up, man, like a woman would get bored, have a good man. You know, a woman can have a good man at home, a man that loves her. Man may not be the richest man in the world, but he handled his business, you know? And all it takes is for her to be bored with the marriage, with the relationship, or go through a rough time in the relationship. Because people would rather do Tarzan, swing from one vine to the next, rather than stick things out till it work. But all it takes is for a woman to be in a bored portion of the relationship, and she'll let some dude on her job get in her head, or a dude from wherever, and she just want to leave. And I see it all the time. Even working with women, man. These women are something else, man. I recalled a couple of times on jobs listening to women conversation on lunch break, talking about, go ahead, leave that man, leave your husband, do you. You're gonna be all right. He's a good father, so he's always gonna be there for his kids. You go do you. Like I heard women tell each other that, and had good husbands that love them and support. You know what I mean? Just gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. My suggestion is, young brothers, your late teens and throughout your whole 20s, get yourself together. You know what I mean? Don't worry about these women. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. You know, seek higher education. You know what I mean? Get your mind right. See the world. Something that we need to do as fathers, man. We need to teach our sons, man, to stop putting the P on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Stop putting the kitty cat on a pedestal, man. You know what I mean? Stop putting the kitty cat on a pedestal. Some people, some dudes would just sell their souls for the kitty cat. You know what I mean? You gotta teach our sons restraint. You know, we really do. Because at the end of the day, the kitty cat ain't worth it. The kitty cat ain't worth the heartache. The kitty cat ain't worth the disrespect. The kitty cat ain't worth going through this crazy behind system, especially if you're a black man. You gotta teach our sons restraint and to be careful. You know, one thing I don't regret, well, I made mistakes, you know, and my children are the greatest blessing ever. So they were all worth it. But the pain and heartache I've been through by having children with a woman that didn't really love me, it may not have loved herself. You know, it hurt. The betrayal I've been through, being cheated on, and giving somebody, you know, my heart, and they took it for granted and didn't love me like that. Somebody that just let outside niggas get in their head and put stuff in their head and treat me like I ain't shit and them niggas ain't love her. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? That's so hurt. I really wish that I would have remained pure. I really wish I would have remained pure and waited till I got married. You know, because being honest, I ain't start seeing red flags with with my former. I ain't start seeing red flags until after, you know, bun was in the oven, yo. And don't get me wrong, despite everything crazy that we went through, she's an excellent mother. As far as being my lady, nah. I mean, did some good things though, man. Like as far as being a wife, but I mean, good things, yo. Cooking and all that, but it was all a facade. Her heart really wasn't in it. But anyway, just gotta be careful, brothers. Gotta be careful. And I'm not bashing. I'm just hoping that me sharing my story, well, some parts of it anyway, will prevent some brothers from going down the wrong path. A lot of these women, I'm telling you, they're not interested in marriage. They just want their big day. They just want the wedding. They just want to put on that white gown and be the envy of other women. They want to post on Facebook, I'm engaged. And you know what I mean? They'll ride that ride with everybody kissing their behind for a minute. You know what I mean? They'll ride that ride, but get married, and as soon as they get bored, deuces. Or as soon as somebody they feel that's better than the one they got come along, deuces. A lot of these women, man, they they do what they do to get a seed from a man. They get pregnant by a man, and once they get that baby, it's child support time. Or they go after the big prize. You know what I mean? A successful dude, you know, and get their big day, be married for a few years, and then forget it. Child support and alimony, double whammy. So man, you just gotta be careful out here, man. Really gotta be careful. But this is Olin, and I'm just keeping it real. Take care. God bless. Forgive me if I came on a little overbearing. Forgive me, I slipped up and cussed. And I'm not bashing, I'm not. I'm all for a man and woman coming together in holy matrimony, man. It's just that how this world is set up and how the world infiltrated the church. It's like, man, this system, like, it's hard for marriage to survive in how the world is today. All these negative influence and all this do as thy wilt, and do you, and all that's doctrine of devils, all that satanic teaching right there, all this entitlement and no humility, man. And as soon as the things get rough, people want to quit, and people are just led by lust and people not really loving people. Like, this world is crazy, man. And this world is so against marriage, and it makes me sick. And it's beautiful, man. And for all the couples out there that keep it going in this crazy world, I salute you. I want to be one of those, for real. It's nothing more precious than for a man and a woman to do their family thing. They got their own kids. They're their own family unit, and they're together. And they're raising their kids together. They're loving their kids together. The kid gets a sample of manhood from the man. You know, they get a sample of womanhood from the mother. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing more beautiful than that. You know, daughters can look at their father and look at how the father treats the mother and see and gets a tour of manhood and also learns how a man should treat, you know, a woman and vice versa, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it there. Take care and God bless.